All right, hey everybody, it's P-Town here, and well, I decided to do a little manga showcase, manga collection video. I initially recorded this in a different way, and I wasn't really satisfied with it, so I decided to do an in-person, in-camera thing. Initially, I just kind of recorded the collection, just kept it hovering above the books the entire time, and I just wanted to get a little more interactive with it. Point is, this manga collection thing will be a little bit, I guess, interactive, at least on my part, and I just want to show off my manga collection. So I'll just be showing in a second. It's just right here. I recently hit up the milestone of 50 volumes. So I just hit 50 volumes collected. I started collecting manga probably about 5 months ago, coming on 6 months. And yeah, 50 volumes over 5 to 6 months to me is a lot. Some of you might think, whoa, 50 volumes, only 5 to 6 months, that's it. And maybe some of you think it's a lot as well. But for me, I think I wanted to go a little bit slower. I don't regret a single volume that I have, though. And I'm really glad. I'm really proud of my collection. I'm happy with it. It's fairly limited because now I'm gonna have to start expanding. I've run out of room, so a lot of my volumes I bought were I think were totally worth it. I would say they're totally worth it. All right, apologies for the mess here, but this is the entire collection. I can pretty much get it in a single, I guess, within camera range. 50 volumes all the way across here. This is on my normal desk. I don't really use this desk anything, as you can see. It's just, for miscellaneous stuff. Apologies for the mess. And this is where I decided to put my manga collection. I'll probably expand, maybe move to some of these drawers over here, but I could see myself getting some shelves, some Daiso, and kind of, moving these forward, elevating them, and then kind of having, another section in the back, or, basically just open up this entire space right here for more manga. But this is it. Covers pretty much my entire desk. I had to move a lot of books. I sacrificed room. Initially my drawer was like up to here with just half normal books, non-comic related books, and half manga. And slowly as I collected more manga, I slowly got rid of more and more books. Still, we have a couple survivors right there. But otherwise, this is it. And I'll go over these more in detail in a second, and I'll kind of display them and kind of explain why I have the series or why I have a certain series. I don't think any of my manga needs any introduction, but otherwise we'll get started. All right, so this is going to be the first series that I have. My collection is sorted in alphabetical order. I don't really have enough volumes to sort them by publisher or anything like different like that. And I guess the first series, I have 4 volumes of Ame Got Kill. We got volumes 7 and 8, as well as 13 and 15. Ame Got Kill is actually one of my favorite series. I watched the anime first, and I actually loved it. It's not the most polarizing series out there, but I think at least one thing that made it polarizing was how it approaches characters. And it basically approaches characters in ways that no character was safe. And, some people didn't like that idea that, a lot of the characters could die at any moment. I liked it because I found it just a little bit more realistic, and it made me treasure the characters. And I decided to get the manga. This was kind of the first series I started collecting manga with, that I started buying it. And I do really love the paneling in this. Some people would say that the manga is better because it kind of changes the fate of some of its characters, as well as, if they don't die, then, well, what happens after that? Really enjoyed the paneling in this. I do love this series. I still love rereading it. But Ame Got Kill, yeah, 4 volumes of that. Don't plan on collecting the entire series, but still one that I really love. All right, so moving on, we still sticking to the A's, and I think this is the last of our A's. We have 1 volume of Assassination Classroom. This is volume 1. Earlier this year, I had Assassination Classroom on my watch list for a very long time. And then I finally found, I found a volume 1 at a Barnes & Noble. It's not like they're rare, but like I haven't often seen a volume 1 of Assassination Classroom. So I decided, well, that would be the time to kind of start the series. Picked it up, read the first volume, absolutely loved it. Watched the rest of it through the anime, loved it from start to finish. Assassination Classroom was one of my favorite series. It's an example of, comedy manga in which, it utilizes the format of manga and comedy can still land. Love this series. Probably won't collect it all, but I'm glad that I started with this. If I read the manga, I probably would have gotten a pretty similar experience than with watching the anime, apart from the amazing voice actor for Koro Sensei. But regardless, love this series. Just 1 volume. And I guess we have this one here. We're gonna jump straight to the B's. We have 1 volume of Black Lagoon. I also had this on my read list for a very long time. I didn't start because, why didn't I start? I didn't start because I heard it was a monthly series as well as a publishing series. And I think we only get chapters for Black Lagoon every 3 or 4 months. And, that's obviously a very slow rate. And I figured I was going to catch it immediately. I didn't want to wait a long time for chapters. But I decided after seeing this volume that I was just going to say screw it and get it. And here we go, Black Lagoon Volume 1. Revi's one of those characters that you like, but that you don't know anything about them, and so I've read this, had a really good time. I can't wait to read the rest of it. Haven't often seen any volumes of Black Lagoon anyways. Not to say that they're rare, but really glad I got my hands on this. And yeah. All right, so now we are tackling the C's of my manga collection. First off, we just have one volume of Chainsaw Man. No introduction needed here. This is one of the more popular new gen mangas and new gen shonens to explode over the past year or so. Probably even more. I discovered it earlier last year. No introduction needed. Its popularity is well deserved. It has such high popularity without the anime. As of right now, the anime isn't even out yet. We're gonna have a trailer in probably about like 10 days after recording this video. But otherwise, really enjoy this series. It is one of my favorite new gens, and like many others. So don't plan on collecting the rest, but I do love this Himeno cover for this volume. I love her. So yeah, I'm good with just having this. But still a great series. And then, of course, in the last of my series, we have 5 volumes of Claymore. These are volumes 6, 8, 11, as well as the final 2 volumes, 26 and 27. Claymore is one of my favorite series of all time, probably my top 5 of manga. I love the world building, and of course, I also absolutely love the artwork. The artwork in this series is just phenomenal. Hiroyagi does a great job with the designs of the creatures and the awakened beings. The Yoma are constantly present throughout the series. Absolutely love it. A lot of the designs for the awakened beings never failed to make my jaw drop. So I love the series. In terms of my enjoyment, I would probably say like it was like this for me and Claymore, but by the end of it, and on such a strong note, now I look back and I love it. And I love rereading these specific volumes because these have like awesome fights in them, awesome artwork. Love Claymore. Probably won't collect any more because I think 5 volumes is a lot. Like I said, I have pretty limited room, but I'm really happy with these volumes that I have. These were pretty much all bought on Libris. I primarily shop at Barnes & Noble just because it's kind of accessible to shop at. It's a cool experience. I try not to buy completely retail. I also buy on Libris as well as Right Stuff Anime. All right, so now we've hit the D section of my manga collection. I have a few series. I have about 3 series here that fill up the Ds. First up, we have D Gray Man. D Gray Man is a very popular 2000 shonen. It is one of my favorite mangas as well. I have volumes 1, 2, as well as Omnibus volume of 16 through 18. Love the Gray Man, love the world building. Alan Walker is a great protagonist. I really love him. I feel like the Gray Man is kind of underrated, but at the same time it is pretty popular. But love the Gray Man. Really happy with these volumes I have. Probably won't get any more, but once again, it was totally worth getting because of especially this omnibus volume right here, the fight scene, the specific fight scenes in this one. Actually, I would have to say this entire omnibus volume as a whole encapsulates why I love the Gray Man. It has some really great fights, really great art, and it's really funny. It has really funny characters. And this volume kind of encapsulates both a really serious, epic fight alongside this really funny comedic arc. And so, love the Gray Man, and really glad to have these. So moving on, we have a series that I do also really love. Well, actually, you could probably assume that I love most of these series. Yeah, it's probably safe to assume, but this is definitely up there. And 2 volumes of Dororo. These are volumes 5 and 22. Dororo, in terms of story, I was kind of like this in terms of my enjoyment, but if there's one thing that's consistent and constant for my love of Dororo, it is the phenomenal artwork. In terms of artwork, it might be my favorite of all of manga. Kiyoshi did an excellent job with the artwork, and as well as with the world building visually. Art can affect people, it can move people, and have people feel these visceral feelings. And just by looking at these panels in Dororo, you feel dirty. You feel like you want to take a shower afterwards. And I just mean that in a good way because it shows that art can affect people. And Kihashi's Dororo is really good. Probably won't collect the rest because I don't really feel like collecting the rest. I just want to have at least a few volumes just to bask in some amazing artwork that I love. And last but not least, in the Ds, this should be the last. Yes, we have 1 volume of Dr. Stone. This is this kind of it's called Reboot Byakuya. And this is kind of like a one-off story that happened to a group of astronauts that were in space during the whole petrification thing. Dr. Stone's a pretty popular series, so I probably don't need to introduce it. This is kind of like a side story. You could probably consider this canon, but it wasn't shown in the anime. It's this surprisingly emotional story about this robot right here. Read a long time ago. This was actually a gift from my friend Anthony, just out of goodwill, no occasion. And actually, I have to also talk about my other gift, this gift of Dororo. Oh, this volume of Dororo is also a gift from my friend Ava for my birthday. So just want to point that out. I should probably point out that a lot of these are also gifts too, and I will acknowledge the ones that are gifts for those who have gifted me. So anyways, Dr. Stone, really enjoyable volume. Probably won't collect any more of Dr. Stone, but it is low-key one of my favorite new gens in terms of the anime, the first season as well as the second season. But yeah, really glad I had this. Shout out to Anthony. All right, so now we've hit a very special series, and I have 4 volumes of Gentama. Volumes 1, 17, 18, as well as 22. The anime, Gentama, is my favorite anime of all time. I finished it for the first time earlier this year. Love it. It surpassed my former favorite anime of all time. And I collected a few volumes of the manga. These aren't really specific. I got all these on Libris, as well as this volume, I believe, at Book Off. I've never seen a volume 1 of Gentama in the flesh. I hardly see them at Barnes & Noble, and they're always sold out on my stuff. So I'm like, yes, absolutely, steal. And just these volumes right here just kind of have some, funny arcs, mini arcs. Love Gentama, love the series, and I love rereading these. I still get a lot of it today. Because it's my favorite anime, obviously I'll have to get more. Viz only translated up to volumes either 22 or 23, and if Viz plans to translate up to volume 25, I'll probably get another volume because that would encapsulate the Yoshiwara and Flames arc, which is not only one of my favorite arcs in Gintama, but as well as one of my favorite arcs of all time. And last but not least, in the G's, we have 1 volume of Grand Blue Dreaming. This is volume 6. This is where the anime left off. Grand Blue Dreaming is low-key one of my favorite series. I would say in my top 20. Very funny series. I'm about halfway through this volume, and it is really funny. It is, for those who doubt that comedy can land in manga format, I feel like Grand Blue would definitely be a easy pick to kind of hopefully change their minds. So just 1 volume right here. Don't know if I'm going to really catch up with the rest of the series because it's also a monthly series. I'm less patient about waiting for chapters rather than waiting for episodes because, as you would know, people would know who read manga. 1 episode is more content than 1 chapter. But regardless, 1 volume of Grand Blue Dreaming, I'm happy to have it. All right, for the H's is probably my biggest section, and I think that is because I don't know where my other volume went. Here it is. There we go. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 volumes of Hell's Paradise. If you see my video on Hell's Paradise, you know that it is my favorite completed manga as right now. Definitely one of, if not my favorite, new gen series. Love Hell's Paradise. I got 2 of these, I got 1 of these volumes as a gift from my friend Jeremy for my birthday, as well as maybe 4 other volumes from my cousin. 3 or 4 other volumes from my cousin. Let's see, if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that would mean 1 volume from Jeremy, and I would say 4 volumes from my cousin Cody. So I initially had 2. I plan to collect the rest of the series. I won't do that with every series, but I can be safe. With Hell's Paradise that I'll enjoy and it'll be worth the money. And I think it'd be cool to reread a series all the way through. It only has about 13 or 14 volumes, so it's definitely very possible and will happen soon. As of right now, there are 8 volumes with me just pre-ordering the 9th one. And the last one in our H's is 1 volume of Hunter x Hunter. Very enjoyable series. No introduction needed. If you asked me what I enjoyed about Hunter x Hunter, I would have never said the fights. It's not like the fights are bad, but it's just that I could think of other reasons why I love Hunter x Hunter, like the characters, the story, the arcs, the development of both the protagonist and the antagonist. The antagonists are great Hunter x Hunter fans said, but I never would have said the fights. There are a couple exceptions, one of them being Crollo versus Silva and, I forgot Kila's dad and grandpa. That fight against Crollo was really good and is really well adapted in this manga. I really enjoyed it, and probably won't get more of Hunter x Hunter, but glad I have this volume right here. So right here we have 1 very special series, to me at least, and I have volumes 1 through 3 of the Misfit of Demon Academy. This was a manga series. This manga series right here is adapted from the light novel of the series. The Misfit of Demon Academy, the anime, I watched when I first got back into anime sometime last year, and I really enjoyed it. I think I was in the market for like a power fantasy. This is kind of one of your cliche, overpowered anime protagonists, power fantasies, but I guess I was in the market for it at the time, so I actually really enjoyed it. It is probably my top 15 anime of all time. I think it's done really well. Point is, these 3 volumes were the first 3 volumes of manga I ever had. This was a gift from my cousin Cody as well as Michaela. No occasion. They just bought it for me out of goodwill. They knew that I liked the series and they found 3 volumes of the manga for it. And I'm really glad I had this. Like I said, this is the first volumes of manga I ever owned, so obviously it's gonna have a special place in my heart, in addition to me really enjoying the series. Probably won't get any more, but regardless, very special additions to my collection right here. Next, we have 4 volumes, volumes 30, 31, as well as 40, 45, and 48 of Naruto. For the longest time, Naruto was my favorite anime of all time. That used to be my number one. I don't think it's a perfect series. I think it's a series with flaws, but to me, in my opinion, the heights and the peaks and the best moments of Naruto, both part 1 and part 2, have not been topped by that many series. I can look past the flaws, I can look past the filler and stuff like that, because like I said, I loved all of the heights in Naruto, like I said, more than almost any other series. So obviously I had to own at least a few volumes of manga. I bought these first 2 volumes myself. These volumes encapsulate the sorcery fight, which is one of my favorite fights in Naruto. And these 2 volumes, 45 and 48, were a gift from my cousin. This encapsulates certain points of the pain arc. This was a gift for my birthday. Really enjoyed rereading these. Love Naruto. In terms of merch, anime merch that I have, Naruto is on top in my room, my collection, my clothes and stuff like that. So of course, manga was the next big thing, and so it was just inevitable that I'd eventually get Naruto manga. So really happy with this. Up in the last few series right here, we have a big, nice, significant title, and that is 5 volumes, the first 5 volumes of Spy Family. If you see my other video, you know that Spy Family is, as of right now, my favorite manga. Absolutely love this series. I didn't plan on having this many volumes. I initially had 3. I had 2, 3, and 4 because I bought it on Amazon, and I was able to get the first volume, I believe on Right Stuff or Libris, because I just wanted to have the initial trio right there. And then I got this 5th one right here, which was a gift from my friend Anthony for my birthday. As of right now, this is up to date. These are all the volumes that are out in the US. Volume 6 is coming soon, I'm guessing sometime this year. Probably collecting the rest of the series, even though this is my favorite manga. Like I said, room is probably the biggest factor in, how much I collect of each series. But, if Spy Family does go to 10 volumes, I'll probably collect the rest. I hope it doesn't end at 10 volumes, because I want more and more of the story. I would love this to go for a long time. But regardless, Spy Family right here, absolutely love this series. I've reread these volumes so many times in the short span that I've had them. Love Spy Family, volumes 1 through 5. This is going to be the last big cut in this manga showcase, because I have the last 3 series right here. Starting off at my T, we have the volume 1, the first volume, in this beautiful hardcover, volume 1 of the original Transformers manga. Now, if you know me, I am a fan of the Transformers franchise. Being a fan of this niche series, you don't know whatever media it is, whether it's a video game, movies, TV show, sequel shows, spin-offs, whatever. You don't know that with each new released media, you don't know if you're going to get a good or bad series. And so, my time as a Transformers fan, like I said, has kind of been like a roller coaster of, good quality content and then bad quality content. This was a gift from my friend Patrick for my birthday. He knew I was a Transformers fan, so he got me volume 1 of this manga, and it's really cool. Like I said, it's in this awesome hardcover. This was originally serialized in the 80s, and it definitely feels its age, but kind of brings back the nostalgia that Transformers is kind of known for. So really glad I have this. Probably won't collect any more, but once again, shout out to Patrick. And up next we have my second and last omnibus volume, and that is volume 1 of Vagabond. Now, to me, Vagabond is a series that I like. I don't love it. I probably wouldn't consider it one of my favorites. However, I think that everybody who is into manga should at least experience a little bit of Vagabond, and that's for its phenomenal artwork. Like I said, it doesn't need any introduction. If you know about Vagabond, you know that it has spectacular, hyper-realistic artwork. It is totally worth, checking out Vagabond, even if you don't like the story, which, for me, I thought it was good. I didn't think it was that great, and I'm in the minority of that. Most people who've read Vagabond absolutely love it, but I think that everybody who likes manga should experience Vagabond for its phenomenal artwork. In terms of realisticness, it is, the best, in my opinion, in terms of realisticness. Inoue just has so many panels that feel like they're worthy of being submitted to, an art gallery. And he does that countless times throughout, not just this volume, but as well as across all other volumes. So, Vagabond. And last but not least, we're going to hit the Z's. I just have 1 volume of Zom 100. This is kind of an underrated series. It's a wholesome tale of, being a zombie apocalypse. I actually when I ordered my volume 3 of Chainsaw Man off of Right Stuff, I actually got this complimentary Zombs 100 mask. It was kind of Right Stuff's way of promoting the series. And I was like, oh, okay, this is actually a really cool mask. I like this mask. And obviously that compelled me to get this series. So I found this series, you know, at a Barnes & Noble one time, and I decided to get it. And I really enjoyed it. I don't know what the release schedule is right now for Zom 100. I don't think we had a chapter in a minute. And by a minute, I mean like a while, like months. But I would really love to see this entire series to the end. It is really good, and I really like it very much. So yeah, Volume 1 of Zombs 100, and that concludes my manga collection video. You know, I'm really happy. Like I said, I'm really happy with it. I look at it. I reread a lot of my volumes all the time, and I'm happy to get more. I'll probably do more expansions, but I just look forward to, you know, how my collection is going to grow. So with that said, thank you all for watching. If you're here, be sure to comment down below what you have in your collection. Go ahead and share what you like from my collection and your thoughts and stuff like that. If you want more manga-related videos, such as maybe manga shopping, manga hauls, and stuff like that, let me know. With that said, it is Pete Town, clocking out. See ya.